thank you all for being here. Like I do in every public gathering, I like to know who's in the room. So, students, could you raise your hands? How many students are here? Great. I made this just for you. Faculty, raise your hands, please. All right. Thank you for extending your days. And we're going to do our best to make it worthwhile. Who's associated with the campus community beyond WSU? Okay, great. Thank you for being here. As I always like to say, the quality of an artist's work is a reflection of a quality of their support. And I certainly want to begin by thanking everyone here at Wayne State for making my residency here possible, not only possible, but comfortable, accessible, and almost seamless, with the exception of the 2-day drive I made from Princeton, New Jersey. I definitely want to thank the present and former chairs of the department in reverse order, John Richardson and Mame Jackson, and a special invocation, a former associate of this department, Jacqueline Francis, who introduced me to this community in 2007 when I appeared in my role as a scholar on a symposium about the future of African American art history. But a special thanks to Elaine L for her advocacy of where this department and school can go in the matter of the visual arts, and her support of the chair that I'm occupying for the next 5 months. And of course, my family and extended family and colleagues who are in this room with me, even though you don't see them. So what I want to do tonight is start with just a little biography, because it's really, really important that you all understand that what I believe is that isms don't make art, people do. And I am the firstborn son of William and Eleanor Gaskins of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I'm the fourth of 5 children, and the first and the only one of those 5 to enter and graduate from college. So you can imagine the amount of excitement there was when I said I wanted to walk the path of art. They did me a really good favor during that time, because they asked me some very, very rigorous questions that you can ask me about later, but they come down to how was I going to address the issue of relevance and revenue. And so what they needed to understand, and they eventually did, was that I was an adolescent and a young adult during a very important and dynamic period in the cultural history of the United States. I was in the middle of both the civil rights movement and a movement that was known as the Black Arts Movement. This was a period of time where there was a proliferation, an explosion of fiction and nonfiction writing, theater, poetry, cinema, painting, sculpture, printmaking, photography, ostensibly by and about African American people. But essentially what that work was about was what it means to be human through the perspectives, and the complex perspectives of African American people. I was in audiences, in church basements, in arenas, in stadiums, in public parks, in galleries and museums, where we were moved by people who were not only engaged in creative expression, but who were making sense of the contradictions of the day. Many of those contradictions had to do with the fact that there was this gulf between the principles for which the country was built upon and its practices and policies, especially those practices and policies directed at African Americans. I was especially influenced by people like Valerie Maynard, Romare Bearden, Roy DeCarava, August Wilson, and later on it would be Marlon Riggs, who would give me a sense of what was possible to be as an artist in the academy. And so what I'm going to do today is show you a bit of what happened as a result of me going into graduate study with the agenda of engaging rich, complex questions formally, conceptually, technically, and aesthetically, but animated by my relationship to African American studies scholarship and my own personal perspectives. So, in terms of my education, I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from Tyler School of Art, where I majored in photography. I hold a Master of Arts degree from The Ohio State University, where I majored in photography and criticism there. And my MFA is from Maryland Institute College of Art. And when I was in graduate school, it was clear to me that I had to leave with some intellectual property that I could trade on the marketplace. This was not a place for me to play in. There were, I'll get the bill. Thanks. Thank you. It wasn't a place to play in, as far as I was concerned. Because there were people writing premature autopsies about Bill Gaskins. And what he could do and what he couldn't do. And so I wanted to address the question, where am I in this work? And I think it's a question that all of us who are not only producers, but spectators of visual culture, where are we in this work? So, part of what informs my critical perspectives was the period of time I spent in Philadelphia as a commercial photographer. One of the things that was said that Bill Gaskins could not do was support himself as an artist. Well, you might as well have booked that. I'm one of these people, if you want me to do something, tell me I can't do it. But I was not able to manifest these things alone. As I said earlier, the quality of an artist's work is the quality of their support. And I had people who were betting on me and my belief in my abilities to realize some of the things that I wanted to do in the arts. Aside from the redundant challenges of the commercial world that left me wanting, the racial politics of an unregulated industry of advertising and public relations made it clear to me I needed to be doing something else. And that I had points of view to get across, as well as I had the ability to get other people's points of view across. Aside from all that, my technical facility was built through this experience. My ability to identify, define, and solve problems photographically was established through these experiences. And they carried over into what would eventually manifest into my own work. Now, one of the biggest influences on me in terms of photography was an annual called the Black Photographers Annual. It came out in 1973. It was the first time I'd seen photography as an art form. And part of the reason I saw it as an art form was it was the first time I'd seen representations of African Americans that were beyond narrow stereotypes. But these were what I like to call African American decisive moments in monochrome. And the challenge that set up for me was, how could I make a body of work that was worthy of a book? And how could I make a body of work that was made up of serial images based on a nuanced understanding of some social phenomena? So, fast forward to the book that I'm known for the most. Was a body of work that was my MFA thesis. And it's my exploration of what it means to have hair in American culture. But it was also my establishing my relationship to the photographic portrait as a medium of expression and a place for me to raise questions visually. And it incorporates a very important part of me that enjoys and desires to have connection, collaboration, and communication with people. This is a project that took 7 years. And I'm somebody who likes long projects. There's a story that Miles Davis, about Miles Davis when he was playing with John Coltrane. John Coltrane was on the bandstand. He had one of these long multi-bar solos. And of course, Miles was upset. And he got off the bandstand and Miles glared at Coltrane, and Train just said, "Man, look, I just don't know how to stop." And Miles said, "Take the horn out your damn mouth." And with certain projects, I really don't like to take the horn out my mouth, because it gives me the opportunity to not only be with people that I ordinarily would not be with, but to create work that brings people together who would not normally be in the same room. So my first goal of establishing a body of work that was worthy of a book was the apex of my MFA work.